How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield leak discussion video. In today's video, we are actually going to be taking a look at another supposed leak, which claims to know a bunch of new information about the upcoming Pokemon titles. However, as always, and I cannot stress this enough, we have no idea if this leak is true or not, so make sure you guys take it with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you'd like to read while I talk, you can find a link to the original post in the description bar down below, and now with all of that out of the way, I have to tell you guys where this leak came from. So guys, this leak was sent in to me by one of my subscribers on my Discord server, so if you guys haven't already joined up, you can find a link to my Discord in both the description as well as the pinned comment. Now guys, this leak originally does come from 4chan, however I do not actually have a link to the original post. The person who sent me this new leak just sent me a picture, so although I don't have a source in the description, all of the information you guys are going to need is going to appear on screen during the video. So now guys, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at this brand new leak. So guys, like I said, this leak comes from 4chan, and it is titled Pokemon Sword and Shield Leak, and it is posted by Virgilton. Now this is really funny because for those of you guys who don't follow Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leaks, there is actually someone named Vergaben who released a lot of really credible information. He's basically regarded as like the most credible Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leaker, so seeing Virgilton is just really funny. Anyways guys, it starts by saying, just some information about Pokemon Sword and Shield. The Sword legendary type is Ice and Ground, and it has a huge attack stat. The Shield legendary type is Steel and Fairy, and it has huge defense stats. A third legendary with the typing of Grass and Dark will be in the game. Also, two legendaries that look like Raven, which are a Flying and Ghost type, and a Flying/Psychic type. There will also be Pokemon Starter Final Evolution typings. Those being Grookey's will be Grass Normal, Scorbunnies will be Fire Electric, and Sobbles will be Water and Dragon. All starters will have special moves that they learn when they evolve into their final evolution. This is custom. We already know with like Incineroar and Decidueye and Primarina that this happens a lot. There will also be a new evolution for Eevee. The type of the new evolution is a Steel type. Also, Galar forms do exist for Johto and Sinnoh evolution Pokemon. Noctowl, Wooper and Quagsire, Hoppip plus its evolution, Sentret and its evolution, Mantine, Misdreavus and Mismagius, Forretress, Ursaring, Yanma and Yanmega, Sunflora and Donphan are all going to have Galar forms. Then we have 104 new Pokemon as well as 17 Galar forms. We will see many Generation 5 Pokemon in the wild, but very little Generation 4 Pokemon. I mean, that makes sense considering we are getting a lot of new Galar form Sinnoh Pokemon, so it does make sense. Mega Evolution is in the game, and there will be some new Megas, but there won't be many. There is also a new mechanic called Offensive Mode and Defensive Mode. You can activate them on every Pokemon and without using an item. Using the Offense Mode, it gives you an attack boost but lowers defense stats. Using Defense Mode gives you a defense boost but lowers the attack stat. Both the boost and the debuff only last for this one turn you use them. Mega Pokemon and Pokemon holding a Z Crystal are not able to use this mechanic. Z moves are also in the game. The rival is a smart and friendly, but in the ongoing story, he starts to cooperate with the evil organization. He isn't a blank, but he trusts the evil organization and thinks he is doing the right things. Later on, he becomes a member of the organization. I don't want to spoil anything about the story, but it is one of the best we have had in Pokemon so far. No Kalos post-game, but we will meet some characters of the past. One person will take a major role in the post-game, being Lysander. We will also visit an island in the post-game. So now that we've gone over the entire post, let's talk about it a little bit. So guys, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the legendary typings. But before we do that, I just want to say that I'm not going to talk about everything on this list, just the stuff that I find particularly important. Now, in terms of the Sword legendary type, we have an Ice and Ground type. Personally, I wish it was an Ice and Steel type, just because, as you guys know, swords and shields are usually made out of like iron or steel, so it would have made a lot more sense if the legendaries were both steel types, but whatever, I guess. Ice and Ground type is still a very cool dual typing. Then in terms of the Shield legendary, we have Steel and Fairy, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this would be a unique dual type. I don't think we have any steel and fairy types yet, but I do think it's really cool that we are going to be getting these typings. Now, the sword legendary is obviously going to have big attack stats, and the shield legendary is going to have big defense stats. Obviously, the sword's for attacking and the shield is for defending, so that makes a lot of sense. I also think that it's really cool that we are going to be getting a total of 5 different legendary Pokemon, being the 2 we just talked about, along with a 3rd legendary who is going to be Grass and Dark, as well as 2 new Raven Pokemon that are both going to be Flying and Ghost, as well as Flying and Psychic type. 5 is a very good number of legendary Pokemon. Then we have some final starter evolution typings. Grookey is going to be a Grass and Normal type, which is okay, I guess. Personally, I wish it was like Grass Fighting, because I think that'd be really cool. Grookey looks like he's going to be a fighter, but I guess that's alright. Then for Scorbunny, her final evolution is actually going to be Fire and Electric. Now, that typing sounds extremely awesome to me. Yes, it's going to be really weak to ground types as well as rock types, but that just sounds like an awesome typing. I really do hope that ends up happening, just because, as you guys know, moving at the speed of electricity or something like that, it's just going to make Scorbunny a very fast Pokemon, so I think that's a really cool typing. And then we have a Water Dragon type for Sobble. Now, right away, if this does end up happening, I might have to choose Sobble, just because Water and Dragon is an amazing typing, and one I don't think we already have, so getting it as a starter Pokemon would be extremely cool. Next up, apparently we are going to be getting a new evolution for Eevee, being the Steel type. Now, as you guys know, it seems like in every other Pokemon game, we get at least one new brand new form of Eevee. So in the original Pokemon games, we got 3 being Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. In Pokemon Johto, which was Gold and Silver, we got Umbreon and Espeon. In Generation 4, we got Leafeon as well as Glaceon. And in Generation 6, we got Sylveon, and so it definitely does make sense that they're going on this every other game, introduce a new typing of Eevee, and one that I'm pretty excited about. I think that Steel definitely does make the most sense, considering once again these games are called Sword and Shield, so it would just make sense that we finally get our Steel type evolution. And although it's not my favorite typing, I kind of wish we got our Dragon type or Flying type. I'm still really happy with a Steel type. Next up, apparently we are going to be getting new Galar forms for Johto and Sinnoh evolution Pokemon. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too happy with the Pokemon choices being Noctowl, Wooper, Hoppip. Like, yeah, all those Pokemon are definitely cool in their own right. However, I wish we got Pokemon like Cyndaquil, Chikorita, Totodile, and other Pokemon just like that, because personally, I think they're a little bit more iconic, but that's 100% okay. Maybe in this game, if these types are cool enough, I'll end up using them. Now, I hope that this actually is a trend that Pokemon starts to do, where in each new generation, they start to revisit some of their older games and make new forms so that way we can use them again, but I'm not 100% sure. I know a lot of people have been talking about Galar forms for a while now, and while I do think it'd be cool to see them for the second generation of Pokemon, I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether or not they are going to be in the game. Alola definitely made sense, because it was like a tropical island where Pokemon evolved differently, but I'm just not too sure how it would work in this next generation of games. However, if they do end up happening, I would definitely be okay with it. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about the new mechanics, being offense mode and defense mode. So apparently you can activate them on every Pokemon, and you don't even have to have them hold an item. Now, I do think that this is extremely cool, just because this is a brand new mechanic which is going to freshen up the battles. It also makes a lot of sense, because if you look at Pokemon like Aegislash, it is already using moves like this. Obviously, when you attack, Aegislash gets into a different position, and he raises his attack stat, and then when you use King's Shield, he goes into his defense form, and that way his defenses are raised. Personally, I really do like this idea, and it definitely makes it feel like Pokemon is more real. It actually feels like you are a trainer making critical decisions when battling with your Pokemon, so if this does end up happening, once again, I'd be totally fine with it. And finally, guys, the last thing I want to talk about is the rival. So apparently the rival is smart and friendly, but then he ends up joining the evil team, which I think is extremely awesome. Now, in most of the past Pokemon games, your rival helps you battle some of the evil teams, like in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Barry helped you battle versus Team Galactic, and Charon in Pokemon Black and White helped you battle versus all of the grunts and stuff like that, which were from Team Plasma. So I really do think it would be cool if our rival ended up turning. He ended up becoming a bad guy, and then our final battle was to decide the fate of the team, similar to how Red defeated Giovanni in Pokemon Red and Blue. Personally, I do think this is a really good idea, and I know a lot of people don't really care about this story when it comes to Pokemon games. However, I definitely do. So guys, overall, do I believe that this leak is real? Honestly, I do think that this leak has a pretty good chance of becoming real, just because a lot of this stuff does make a lot of sense, including the legendaries, the new Galar forms, as well as the new evolution for Eevee. A lot of this stuff just makes a whole lot of sense. However, the reason why I really hope this leak isn't real, even though I don't think this takes away from its credibility at all, is that there's going to be no Kalos post-game, because I really do want to return to Kalos and travel through that region, considering there is some yin and yang going on with the Kalos region and Galar region. However, guys, if it doesn't end up happening, I'm not going to be too heartbroken, just because I'm going to go back and play Pokemon X and Y. However, guys, let me know your thoughts about this leak in the comments section down below. Do you guys believe that this leak is real, and would you be happy if it was? Why or why not? Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.